Sparks of inspiration fly, and you'll feel ignited from real-life motivation. Through listening to this show, you'll discover your own uniqueness and learn how to transform negative energy into positive energy. In the end, you'll smile from the inside out, feel good about yourself, and produce amazing results. And here's your host, Ignite Coach, #1 best-selling author, autism mom expert, and thought leader, Dr. Ali Griffith.
Hello, what's up? What's up? What is up? Welcome to the Dr. Ali Griffith Show. Mindset, meditation, motivation. You will learn tools, techniques, and strategies on how to shift your mindset, ignite your inner fire, and make bold power moves in your lives. And I am so excited to welcome you to episode 2. Yes, we are moving. And today we're going to be talking all about that morning mindset. Yes, the mindset that you start your day with is how you can project the rest of the day and the events and your perceptions and your results in making that day the best day that you can create. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I use in the mornings to help me to realign, to reshift, to get myself ready for a fun-filled, packed day ahead. As moms, we wake up like ready to go, especially moms that are entrepreneurs. We wake up, we're ready to just tackle the world. We're ready to tackle our to-do list, check. We're ready to check all those things that we have to get done. But before we even get there, we have to make sure that we are ready to take on what is ahead of us. And I like to call that we need to do some self-care, some self-work, and some self-love before going out there and giving any love to anyone else, before giving any care to anyone else, before giving any of our attention into all of the other things that are going to take our attention away from ourselves. So I'll start you off with the first thing that I do when I get up in the morning. As I open my eyes, and as I get out of bed, but first I'll lay there. I'll just lay there. And I don't know if some of you are snoozers. I'm not a snoozer. Most mornings I would start with some meditation. I like to use different type of meditative sources. You can choose which one works for you. You might even get to choose one of mine that I'm going to be creating and putting out there so you can use to start your day off on a positive note. Meditation is important to me in the morning because it allows me to be still. It allows me to get in touch with what it is that I need for me. But most importantly, it stops everything, right? It stops the constant thoughts, the constant planning, the constant moving around, the swirl of madness that happens in our head. So when I noticed that when I started to incorporate more meditative processes, and I really started mostly with Deepak and Oprah. They did the 21 days habits, and they actually teach me how to use meditation to really create the positive aspects that I want to happen in my life. And using their tools, using their techniques and strategies actually prepared me for the fact that you ever laid down to do meditation and then your mind is swirling into everything else, like you're supposed to stop moving, but somehow you're still thinking. And at first I thought that was so wrong, and I was like, I can't meditate, it's not for me. Every time I do it, I'm always thinking about everything else. And then I had to learn, like with everything else, it requires what? Practice, right? So I couldn't give up on myself. On the days when I did stray away, I give myself permission, to come back in when I notice it was happening. And they have a tool and a technique where they give you a certain words or a few words that you're saying in your head, where once you feel yourself coming out of alignment or thinking of other things, you use that to kind of zone you in, center back in. And I do a lot of similarities in terms of the meditation that I do when I'm not using it. I choose that one word, that one few words or phrase that I need to help me to focus that day. Even if sometimes if the word is just focus. I sound like T3, right? So whatever you need to use to help you to come back in, then use that. Some people will use a specific visual. Some may use a specific word or phrase. But the key is to give yourself permission to stop moving, to allow yourself to focus on something else beside your to-do list, and then to really get your mind ready for what is ahead for you. So sometimes you just have to create a blank slate for the day. You know, I think about it as an artist, before they get ready to paint and perform whatever they're going to perform on their canvas, they start with a blank slate. So each morning, start your morning on a blank slate. That's what I do, and I've noticed it's produced different types of results. It's actually accelerated my results. So instead of getting up and ready to go, I get up first and then I'm like, wait, slow down, be still, and then go. So first you do meditative, or you just lay still. Some may pray, some may use this time to just connect with themselves, God, the universe. And then I like to visualize exactly what is it that I want for the day, right? What do I want to create? And 3 things we can do is visualize the results of what we want. So sometimes I visualize a happy smile at the end, or a hug from Zachary, or, success at something that I want to create, or the feeling of what I'm going to feel like at the end of the day. So it's a way of really setting yourself up for success by starting your morning with a specific routine that allows you to tap back into self before pouring out there to others. And I hope some of you are writing this down, or at least just really listening with your soul, listening with your spirit, your heart space, to creating your own way. I love to share my way, but like I said, I started with the Deepak and Oprah, and then I started to create my own. And that's what I want for you to do. I want you to start with something that is tried and true, right? And then incorporate your own uniqueness, incorporate what works for you. So a second tool that I use to help me in the morning, besides, well, that was 2 actually. The first one was making sure you stay still and doing the meditative process. The second part was visualizing the results, visualizing the end matter, visualizing the end feeling, so that you have something of a positive aspect towards whatever decision or whatever steps that you make for the day. So the third thing I love to say, and some may switch this around, these are just 3 of the things that I use to create my morning mindset. And first of all, I just want to stop before I get into number 3. I want to thank you for listening today. I want to make sure that you are subscribed, make sure you are following, sharing this out. Definitely make sure that you are leaving reviews and letting me know how you feel. Different aspects of where you can do that would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email me. Everything is at Dr. Allie Griffith. And to email would be info@dralliegriffith. And this would be where you would send me your thoughts, or send me how you would like to add on to, or your experiences with some of the things that we're sharing. So before I get into number 3, I just wanted to make sure if anything happened and you didn't get to finish listening to this podcast right now, that you had a means of us staying in contact. So thank you, and to tell you thank you. Which leads us into number 3, those 2 magical words. Thank you. It's pretty much how I start my day. As I take one foot out of the bed and I place it on the ground, I say thank. As I place the other one on the ground, I say you. See, we have to learn to starting our day beginning our day, beginning our process, beginning our journey for whatever is ahead with gratitude. Because if we can't be grateful for whatever the moment is at this time, and it could be, thankful for being awake, thankful for being alive, thank you that I actually have 2 feet that I can place on the ground and that they're working. And for those who do not, then whichever way that you use to come out of the bed, as you come out, still use the words thank you. Because you may not have the ability of feet, but you have the ability of hands. You have the ability of thoughts. You have the ability of feelings. Whatever it is your specific circumstances is, throughout it all, you have to remember to give thanks. And I do a lot of this with Zachary because who is my son, as he is diagnosed with living on the autism spectrum, and he's now moving into 13, which is that teenage age at the time of this recording. So he is at the stage now where he is immediately thinking of what's not right, or his mind is constantly thinking of what he has to do. And I said, wait a minute. We have to stop and we have to be thankful for what we can do. We have to be thankful for the things we have accomplished. And we have to be thankful for the now, the present. So these are things that I believe as parents, I believe as individuals, as humans, if we really start to incorporate being grateful, verbalizing it out loud, showing what thankfulness is, then we can begin to show others around us, like how I'm showing you right now, like whoever listens to this afterwards will get to hear how gratitude and saying thank you and actions and meditation and setting your mind in the right space so you can move forward in your day is so important. Because we're busy living in our day, because we're busy with the nuances of what we have to get done, what we have to get accomplished, all the to-do things. And that's fine because that's life. I'm not saying that it's not going to occur. But what I am saying is we can approach it a different way. And we can approach it in a way that we set ourselves up for success. And then when challenges come up, we have the tools and the strategies and the techniques to help us to kick through the challenges, or move past the challenges, or climb over the hurdles of the challenges. But before we even start with the challenges, before we even start with the wins, before we even start with the movement of the day, let's start creating a morning mindset routine. So that's what I leave you here with this charge. As you're moving forward from today, create your morning mindset routine. Look within yourself and see what is it that I can do that can set me forth for success for today. And make sure it doesn't always include someone. Like, we're always busy looking at, okay, we have to do things for others. We have to do things without others. We have to do things for others. Let me take a sip. As a speech pathologist, I know it's important to lubricate my vocal folds as I'm speaking. So we have to learn to make sure we're doing that self-care for ourselves. We have to make sure that we're pouring into ourselves and creating our own strategies. And I look forward to the rest of the podcast that's ahead. Remember, this is just podcast number 2, where we can share some more specific details and some more specific techniques that you can incorporate. Because sometimes you may create a strategy, you may create a routine, and I don't know if many of you guys are like me. I get bored sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm tired of that routine. I want to create a different routine. So you have choices, and you have like a smorgasbord of different things that you can do. Similar like how you have different podcasts you may listen to based on your mood. Different YouTube videos you may watch based on your mood. But the key of it all really is to make sure you are creating that time space for yourself, putting some visualizations into action, because if you don't see where you want to go, if you don't see your aspect of success, if you don't see the feeling, not only see but visualize the feeling and actually internalize within itself, then it just feels like it's empty out there, and it's just, waving around in the sky in the universe, just as energy. So it's our way of connecting with ourselves and connecting with the energy of where we want to go. I think that's the most accurate or concise way I can put all of that together. I'm so excited that you chose to spend the last few minutes with me. And I know what I want to leave you with is definitely make sure you reach out to my website, jump on my website and get the 15 success tips that I have that's available at this time. Not sure when you're listening to it what other free tips or advice or tools that I'll be giving, but make sure you're subscribed so you're always getting whatever is being shared. I share this information with you because I needed it. I share this information with you because I do know if you utilize these in different aspects in your life, you are going to see the change and the results. And whether you're doing it for yourself or you're doing it with your family members or you're doing it for your family members, whether they're on the spectrum, special needs, quote unquote, neurotypically developing, whatever it is you being in action. And I'm always going to help you to make sure as we work on mindset, as we work on perspectives and opening up our possibilities, that we're also producing the results that we want. Even when we're scared, even when we don't know what the exact results are definitely going to be. Trust me, I never know what it's going to be. But I go into it with the same excitement and the same fervor that I would if I was going to create the results that I want. So stay with me, hang in there, make sure you're prescribed, make sure that you are following, make sure that you are sharing and making sure others out there get this information, because that's another thing I notice is that we keep a lot of stuff in for ourselves, but we forget about our sisters or our friends or family members that just may need to learn how it is that morning mindset is so critical, or how it is that motivation and meditation is so important for them having and choosing to create the life and the results that they want. Make sure you follow the next podcast where we will be speaking about in episode 3, how to motivate yourself, how to motivate myself through unexpected challenges. Oh, this is going to be juicy because everyone always talks about how to motivate thyself, get up and go there. But what about when you get snapped down and beat down and find out things that you just don't know how you will handle? So I'm excited about sharing with you some more information on my experience with diagnosis, divorce, depression, and so much more. Yep. Stay tuned and make sure you're following Dr. Ali Griffith Show and listening to the next podcast. Love you. Take care.